everyone, it's BellaDovah and today we're going to be taking a look at all of the brand new mods for The Sims 2 that have released this past month, April 2024. My video on the mods releasing Q1 was a huge success, so thank you so much for all of your support and making it known that you'd like this series to continue. This time I'm trialing doing a monthly installment rather than quarterly, but it may well be that this series goes back to being on a quarterly basis, so do let me know what you think. Of course this video will be shorter than the last, but I have realised it may prove difficult to keep it with doing it monthly and still be able to upload any other kind of content on my channel. Plus I imagine some months won't see many new mod releases, but we've got a great amount to dive into today. As always now, all of the links to the mods shown today will be in a post on my website along with a written description for each, so find the link to that in the video description. And let's get started. So we're back with the Goths, apparently my favourite test subjects, and this time I want to start with the graphics mods. Well, default replacements, but to me default replacements are graphics mods. Don't know what you think, let me know. I imagine some of you even consider default replacements as custom content and not mods, but for me, default replacements are graphics mods, so we're going to be taking a look at those. And the first one is a Plumbob default replacement, and that is Small and Chubby Plumbobs by Dystopia. I have currently got the clean UI version in at the moment, but I will shortly reload and try one of the other options. Let's have a look here. There's quite a few different options. So there's the softer colours, which I will try after this. One that's supposed to match the clean UI, one that's meant to match the dark UI, one that's just dark mode, so like more darker muted colours, and also a candy mode with very bright vibrant colours. I got to admit that since this is actually an edit of a mod by P Forest, the Smooth Plumbob, this mod actually did come out in Q1 and I didn't cover it last time. And that is because when I first started making a list of all the mods I was finding as I go, I did start to just put mods on that list that I want in my own game. And personally, I've covered it in my I must have graphics mods, which really needs remaking, by the way. But there is another Plumbob default replacement that I absolutely love and will be sticking with, and that is the Prettier Plumbobs by Ambular on Mod The Sims. So this is the one I'm going to be keeping in my game, but these two are nice options if they're more suitable for you, so check them out. And in this series I will start doing a better job of covering all mods I find, not just mods that I'm going to be having in my game myself, so do bear that in mind as well about this series. Even in the last video, just because I've covered a mod, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a keeper for me, but I still want to share it with you in case you are interested. And I do hope to eventually update my list to actually indicate which mods I'm going to be keeping in my folders or not. I just don't really have a permanent downloads folder at the moment because I'm completely redoing it. But anyway, I'm rambling. Before I reload and take a look at one of the other versions of this, I also want to draw your attention to how amazing Cassandra and Alex's glasses are looking. Let's take a closer look at you. So this result is actually thanks to two mods. We've got a rounder mesh replacement by Pineapple Forest and a clearer glass texture replacement by Cosmo. So you can use those together, and as you can see, they have made a really lovely result of those glasses. They're not like octagonal anymore, they're actually circles and don't look all cloudy. So yeah, very nice. Definitely highly recommend those. But let me reload and take a look at one of the other Plumbob versions before we move on. So I'm back with the softer colours version. So we've got a white, green and a yellowy colour, and personally I think I do maybe prefer this version to the clean UI matching version, but there's a lot of nice options, so pick what suits you. And let's move on to our next mod. So I'm going to be zooming out here and having a look at the mailbox. Doesn't look much different than you think, but actually this is a default replacement by Epi, which removes the ball that was on top of here, and that is so that you can combine it with this light on a Stick by Pineapple Forest. If I put move object on, and you can hide the pole inside the post of the lamppost, and then it looks like that light is sat on top of that, and then it's not clipping through the ball that's on top. So that would just be a nice way to add some lighting on the end of your street if you're interested, and you can use this light on a stick on its own if you want to. But yeah, that's the idea. Remove the sphere decoration off the top so that you can combine it with this light if you want to. So that's a pretty cool idea. And the next and last graphical mod we're going to be looking at is a default replacement for the guitar that also has some cool decorative add-ons. So you can see this wall version, absolutely, I love that. We've definitely been using that all over the place for my music hobby sims. And there's also this version that's just got the stand without the amp, which is just decorative as well. And then the default replacement for the functional guitar itself that also comes with a lot of nice new recolors. So that definitely adds a really nice touch to that. Looks really high quality now, and lots of interesting designs for it. You can actually even choose what color. You have these little bits that go under the string. I don't know what they're called, whether you want them to have the black rim or a like chrome silver rim. I went with the black one, but it was a hard choice because they both look great. But yeah, I think this is a really lovely looking result. So yeah, would definitely highly recommend that one. Next, we're going to be taking a look at some functional objects. And again, I guess this is a bit of a grey area because where do you draw the line between what's a mod and custom content? I'm never covering custom content in this series because otherwise we'll be here for hours and hours because so much lovely custom content gets released every day for The Sims 2. I can't keep up. But I consider certain CC items, or, object items as mods if they fulfill a function or a purpose that doesn't otherwise exist in the Maxis game. So that first one is a object by Episims called a Sunlamp Controller, which is in the miscellaneous lighting section. And what that does is if you place it in a room, then it makes all of the lights in the room behave the same as the greenhouse light. So this one. So that means, you might have some CC lights that look like, you could use them to help grow your plants, but they don't technically function like that. If you place this controller in the room with them, then any light in it, even these candles here, I believe, will technically be like, what do you call it? Sun lamps. Yeah, that will help plants grow, so gardening plants would be able to grow inside. Another effect of it, though, is it makes this light that's just in the normal ceiling lights category that looks exactly like the garden centre light, but is a whole lot cheaper, behave the same way. And I'm not sure about that one, to be honest, because this is so much cheaper. This is just 145, whereas this one's ridiculously expensive at 2,000, and it pretty much then makes that redundant. So I get it because they look identical. It is a bit just of a silly design that there's a clone of it that doesn't function like it. So it might just be that some, price overrides would make more sense for me in my game, but that's just another effect of it. And then yeah, like I said, any lamp in the same room with this, even like a floor lamp, would become a sun lamp to help your flowers grow. Next, we have some hobby enthusiasm boards by Charmful. And you may have seen similar ones that I really love. I use them all the time. But these are certain more specific designs for like specific sub hobbies. But what's cool about this and why I'm considering it a mod is because it's not just any painting, it's actually a special mesh that comes with an interaction to set the hobby that it's for. So we can see that this is a sciencey one. So you can set that this is a science board. And now when you have a sim view it, they actually gain the hobby that you set it to. And another cool feature of it is that if I then redesign it and let's go for, say, this one, a music-y themed one, you'll get a pop-up reminding that you've changed the design of the board. Do you need to change the hobby associated with it? So yes, I do. I need to change it to music and dance so that now when we view it, we get the music and dance hobby. How cool is that? So it's a really cool way to have, you know, a way of building hobby enthusiasm if you viewing art on the wall that doesn't just get you the arts and crafts hobby. Next, we're revisiting this VR goggles headset by Jackie93Sims from last week because in April, Yoshi has released an overhaul for it, basically like a version with just lots of fixes and improvements for it. So I thought it was worth taking another look. Because last time you might remember that I was a bit confused about why I kept getting prompted to take pictures with each interaction with it. That's now gotten rid of, and there's just been some improvements with the motive effects and things like that. And it now also has enthusiasm game, which it didn't before. For the play option, which is what Cassandra's doing now, Limey actually chose it to gain the science hobby, which I get why, because it is, there are frustratingly few ways to build that hobby usually, but call me traditional, I think I would just have to make it the games hobby. I think VR is a very gamery thing to do. But the working out will gain fitness, as you would expect. And there's just a few other things, like they won't, you know, kill themselves on it. If the motors get low, they will stop playing with it. I think the interaction loops are a little bit longer, maybe, like so they won't seem as repetitive. Just a bunch of little tweaks that just really take it for its full potential. Jackie made a wonderful basis for this object, and Yoshi just really took it that extra mile. So it's definitely a cool object to have in the game and play with. Oh, she gains science. I thought it said that they'd gain fitness. Oh yeah, science when play. Yeah, I probably want to change the working out hobby to fitness and the play to games. But you know what would actually be cool? I feel like you could actually have like a complete clone of the play option, but it'd be something like explore space or something along those lines, and that interaction would gain the science hobby, whereas a normal play would be the video games. I think that would be really cool to see. But yeah, it sounds like there's quite a lot of tuning options as well, so you can really make it how you like it. This is our next mod. This pile of rocks here is our next mod. This is Nature's Kitty Litter by Jackie93Sims, which is a cat litter tray, basically, but it's one that you can put outside and it blends in really well. So I've gone ahead and adopted sweets for the goths so we can try it out. There are two versions of this, a regular one that functions exactly the same as a litter tray, and one that is infinite, so you don't actually have to clean it up, which I think makes sense. Like, you would think they're burying it in the ground, but unfortunately, at least to me, this infinite version is slaved to the regular version, so you kind of have to have both in your game, even if you always want to use the infinite version, unless you kind of like did some editing yourself to kind of remove the normal version from the catalog kind of thing. But yeah, I'd kind of wondering what it looks like for the normal version to be cleaned up. So let's actually have Sweets try the regular version first. That's the infinite version. Oh, I got two infinite versions. Let's get a regular version and then see what it looks. Oh well, it won't be dirty, will it? Right, so yeah, you can set a dirt level on this one and you can't with that one. So I guess I'll just make this one dirty. Or maybe super dirty. Right. So this is what it's like when it's dirty. So let's have Cassandra clean this one up and see what that looks like with the, you know, scooper and things, even though it's, you know, on the ground.
Oh, Phoebus. Oh.
Yeah, you can kind of see he's just scooping some litter. The scoop is invisible. Oh, it looks like Sweets is going to come and use the infinite version. And there we go. He's used it. And I think that looks pretty realistic, to be fair. You can imagine putting that, you know, around some shrubbery or something and probably just a patch of dirt underneath. And then your cats have got a place to go outside. A lot of cats that have access to outside prefer to go outside. So that is a great option. You don't always have to find somewhere for a litter tray to go inside. They'll actually use it outside or both. So yeah, I think that's brilliant. So again, is it custom content? You tell me, but for me, in the normal game, there's not really a normal way of having your cats be able to go outside and it look right. So this for me is filling a gap in the vanilla game, and that's why I would consider this a mod object, a functional mod object rather than just a CC litter tray. Hope that makes sense. For our next two object mods, we're with the Brokes, and our first one is a body scale, like a weighing scale. The Body Capture X500 by Cupcake Leaf on Mod The Sims. So it's in small electronics for just 85 simoleons, so even the Brokes can afford it. And here's what it looks like. There are some recolors of it depending on what you want it to say most of the time. So I guess we'll go for the 0 one. And I've gone with the Brokes because they are different fitness levels. So Dustin here is fit and Brandy's right at the bottom of, you know, normal thin weight. So let's have Dustin use it. So there's a few options. You can actually just use it to, you know, change the physique rather than like the bull prop menu, which is cool. You can weigh or also use it as a way to gain or lose points, which is cool. But let's try and weigh him. So they just observe it, they don't actually stand on it. They look at it and it tells you that his weight points are 300 to 500, which means he is in the thin minus body type. And if you use Nopkey's fitness decay mod, which I usually do, so I've put it in this folder with it, it also tells you their rate. So it says every 4 hours his fitness level will decay by 4 points. So every 4 hours. But that actually isn't right because I use the slow version of Nopkey's fitness decay mod, which makes it every 12 hours. So I think that's just a text issue. It might just need an alternate version to say 12 hours. I think that would be super easy to do. So yeah, you can see depending on the body type that they're in, how much fitness points they'll lose. So let's actually see, he's actually in thin then, so he's not in this. So let's I don't... I think gaining points makes them better. Let's see. Gain 10 points. What now? What about 100 points? Oh. Right, that actually bumped him down some more. Oh, and made him error. He's still in that same window though. Let's make him athletic again, because... Wait, what? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What have I done? Okay. So I have just reloaded and tried it again to determine whether it was me doing something wrong. So I didn't touch the weight points at all this time. I just went to change physique and get athletic, and again it has emptied his fitness bar completely for some reason rather than filling it. So probably have to tell the mod author about that. So I'll try and get obese now. It seems like it's just stuck. Oh, he's fat again now. Okay, I do seem to... It seems like these changing physiques set their numbers like into overdrive. But I do seem to be able to use these to keep like making him lose 100 to put him back into the bin. Still getting an error though. Now he's thin, so if I weigh him now, we were in thin plus in a different range. So his decay will be 2 points. Let me gain 100, see if we can get him into the fat again. Yeah. So he's again an error. But now he's in the fat part. If I weigh him now. Yeah. So I actually use the tuning for the fitness decay mod to not include fat. So fat sims won't just keep getting fat from not doing anything, whereas fit sims will lose their athleticism from not maintaining it. At least I think that's how it works. So it seems like the text isn't really reflective of the different flavor options you can choose for that mod. So I'll probably have to report to the author about this change physique option working a little bit strange for me, and the text on the fitness decay not really reflecting the options of that mod. But besides that, I think the weight options are quite cool because you know, you can see the body type and the weight point, and also there's different animations for the kind of sim. So if I now try Brandy, let's see how she reacts to her age. Get out of the way, please, Dustin. Yes, he was disappointed with being fat because he's not like super lazy or anything. Let's see what Brandy thinks. She's quite pleased with herself. She thinks not bad, you know. She's thin, and that's pretty good. So yeah, pretty cool that there's different animations that play. Next, I want to take a look at this set of Toddler Toys by Jackie93 Sims, and have Bo here interact with them. So again, why I consider this a mod and not CC is because, well, of this tunnel. Because if I get Bo to play with it, this tunnel toy actually builds the body skill. And to my knowledge, there is no vanilla way of toddlers building the body skill. So that's why I see this as a mod that enables that otherwise missing feature. But it does come in a set with these other toys that I would perhaps class as CC, to be fair, because we have this makeup kit which you can actually use to change a toddler's appearance, so that the parents don't have to get involved, which is really cool. So actually, that's a mod object. That's so cool. So we can change Bo's hair with it. And we can also play with it, and that gains the creativity skill. So that's like the xylophone, but it doesn't make the xylophone noise. And then there is this telephone, which is a way of gaining charisma. Oh, that's like the xylophone. Fair enough, he just kind of smashes the phone on the buttons and it makes the xylophone noise. I'm alright with that. That's pretty cute. But I mean, like, how the xylophone builds creativity, this makeup set will also build creativity, whereas this one does charisma, and this special tunnel builds body skill. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like any of these items gain hobby enthusiasm, which is a real shame. It would be cool if that built fitness, that built arts and crafts, and this built maybe there isn't really a right kind of hobby for the phone, but definitely it would be cool if the tunnel built fitness. I'd probably look into doing that myself by the time I actually get around to that part of my downloads folder, which could be ages, so I do hope someone else maybe covers that. But yeah, it's not too hard to add a hobby enthusiasm gain to objects. I did manage to do it for the more functional easels, so I could probably do it for this as needed. But they are still really cool, cute, well-made toddler toys, and this is filling a major gap for me. So your kind of sporty fitness kind of toddlers can have some fun building their body skill with that. For our next mod, we're using the new terrible cut trait we looked at in the Q1 mods, because there is now a mod that makes this do something, and that is an edit of one of the traits mods that affects the likelihood of Sims burning food or starting a fire depending on the traits, or I think same with children and the toy oven. But now Sims with a terrible cook trait have a additional 20% chance of burning food or starting a fire. It also has a -5% chance for both disciplined and perceptive Sims, but a plus 10% chance for absent-minded, and natural cooks will have no chance, and a similar kind of idea for children at the toy oven. Well, not starting fires, obviously. They just like whether they do the confused animation or like how fast they build cooking skills and things like that. So let's actually also give Dustin the absent-minded trait as well, because then his chances would stack. So if he's an absent-minded terrible cook, he also has no cooking skills. So if I get him to serve lunch, I can't make mac and cheese. Let's make it 5 p.m. so that he can serve mac and cheese, and let's see if he burns the house down. It's ready, and he did not. Of course not. You know, when you want the game to do anything, of course it doesn't. Let's try again. Oh yeah, he's burnt the food this time. Second time lucky. Or unlucky, more like. He's gone and burnt the food. No fire though, at least. So yeah, it's cool to see the collection of mods making use of that new set of mods coming out. So that's really exciting. For our next few mods, we're with the Pleasants. And this one, we've got Daniel lighting a fire because Epi has released a mod that makes it so fires can't actually catch fire, Fires can be started by other means, but not by fireplaces, so you can feel free to decorate around your fireplaces and put rugs right up to it without having to worry about a fire. Not sure what I think about this one, because I always like tell myself I like to be able to have that element of surprise and chaos and tragedy in theory, but then when it actually comes to happening, I am like a sucker for wanting to reload the save if something goes wrong. You know, I'd be annoyed if I just tried to like decorate up a fireplace for Christmas, and then it all goes up in flames. So I really do get it. I get just to be able to have the freedom of decorating how you want and not have to worry about such things might be appealing. I haven't decided how I feel about it yet, but I totally get it. So we're gonna have this fire roaring with all this stuff right up to it, and we don't have to worry about it. For our next mod, I've gone into the pleasant. Oh, oh my god! I have turned the pleasant ladies into witches and manipulated their personality slightly, because we're taking a look at Epi's been on a roll this month, personality based witch idols. So Angela here is a good witch, but I have made her extremely grouchy. So now instead of doing the good witch idols, which is what Lilith is doing, she's doing the evil ones. Whereas Lilith is an evil witch, but I gave her max nice points. So she's doing the nice idols instead of the evil witch idols. That makes sense. Whereas Mary Sue is a neutral witch, and I made her personality neutral. So she's just doing the normal neutral witch idols. Whereas if I make her grouchy now, let's see if we can wait and see another cycle of idols. Yeah. So there we go. Mary Sue just did an evil witch idol, and Lilith just did a different nice one. Yeah, they're just spamming him. They can't get enough. Let's try making Mary Sue really nice now, and off she goes doing the nice ones. And we can make the girls into kind of middle ground personalities now, and then they will just do the normal twirling wand idols. So it just gives a little bit more storytelling flexibility if you're into that kind of thing, rather than playing by alignment. You know, there might be a reason why a witch knows what evil spells but is still very nice. I never really play with occults or witches or anything, so I have no idea whether this is the kind of mod for me. I don't know really whether I'd want it to still be based on their alignment or personalities, but I do think it is a really cool option, and it's been lovely to see these girls as witches. And I thought I'd be sitting around here waiting for ages before they did an idol, but they can't get enough of them. I don't think that's anything to do with the mod, that's just obviously the way the Max's wishes are. It's just the kind of animations they're playing will be different now. So there we go, back to normal. Oh, not quite. Let's make Mary Sue neutral. And there we go. If their personalities match their alignment, then they'll do the same animations accordingly. For our next mod, we're at 250 Main Street with Nina and Dina Caliente, because we are going to be trying out a skinny dipping mod by Pick and Mix. So I have put these two signs out, and I'm going to configure them. So defaults like this. So what's the current setting to? So it's currently allowed that you can skinny dip here around this sign if it's between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. You can sunbathe in the nude between 10 a.m. or 5 p.m. and teens can do all of that too. So both of these signs are currently set up the same, but what you can do is you can change the settings per sign, and then depending on what sign the sim is closest to is the kind of rules that they will follow. So you can imagine how you could use this to partition a beach as shown on the mod page. Let's get it up. So as you can see, they've got a nice partition on the beach and the signs are really close to each other, but this seems using the required distance globals mod, depending which side they are closest to. I love the placement of that flower. That's a really great shot. Is the rules that they will follow. So obviously we're not on a beach, but I do have the sunbathe everywhere mod, so I will be able to try that. But let's see what we can do with the pool. So I'm gonna say that at this end, it's a nudist end, right? You can sunbathe in the nude all day, you can skinny dip all day, and then if we now show it, it should, yep. So no matter what time you can do it. Well, let's say that this end is no, naturist is not allowed, and the sign changes, so you can see it's not allowed, and then if you go on that, you can see what happened. So hopefully we'll be able to observe, you know, other visitors' behaviour, but also I want to draw your attention to the fact that Nina is very shy, but Dina is very outgoing. So I'm gonna have them walk over to this end by this sign, and then I'll have them get in the pool and see what they choose to do. Right, so let's have Dina get in the pool. And she's going for it. She's in the nude because she is very outgoing and she's nearest to the sign that says you can do that at any time. But let's try have Nina get in now, who is very shy, so she's still opting for her swimwear. This guy who's getting in is in swimwear. I'm not sure what his personality is, but he is closest to the no naturist side, so yeah, he definitely should not be in his birthday suit. Another feature of the mod though is that there's a chance that they might change into their underwear instead. I think if they have more like a middle confidence personality, they're more likely to do that. I don't get that bit personally. I'd prefer it to just be either like swimwear or nude rather than swimwear, underwear or nude, depending on personality. I also think this has a load of potential for trait support. I could definitely see an add-on for the never nude trait and the new nudist trait. Again, when I get around to doing that section of my mods folder, it might be me that does it, but I do hope someone beats me to it. I think that would be really cool to see. Let's have them get out though and see if sunbathing with the sunbathe anywhere mod. Oh, it's raining. That's why I put one of these on the lot so we can force it to a now, you know, nice day. There we go. Oh, she got changed because I told her to stop swimming and she realised she was naked and got changed. That's a little bit strange. But okay. You can get out as well, Lena. Let's see if we can get Dina to sunbathe here. Let's see what she will do. Oh, Nina absolutely cut her off there. Yep, she's sunbathing naked. What about you, Nina? What about if you sunbathe over here? Yep, staying in a swimwear. I think once they're in swimwear, there's no real reason they'd ever get out of it. I think that's part of the mod as well. But yeah, it adds some fun. But let's make Dina actually go over here now. Oh, she's still naked. Right, let's have her get into her everyday clothes. And now she'd probably, if I'd have been a bit more patient there, because she's now in range of this sign, she probably would have got changed by herself. But anyway, let's see if I get to sunbathe here. She's in a swimwear. She's respecting the rules of the sign she is closest to. And then we have it, a cool mod to add some variety, bringing out some Sims personality, and I think potential for a traits add-on, so we will have to see. For our next two mods, I have moved the freshman household into a dorm in the university, and I'm having the three guys claim doors, and I have deliberately made two of them on diagonals. So, one of the mods we're looking at is New Memories for the University EP by Nopkin. Now, ta-da, because he has just claimed a dorm in a room, he now has a memory of moving into a dormitory. I have just made Sam here shy because if the sim has 3 or less points in outgoing, the memory of moving into a dormitory will actually be negative. Very relatable. There's going to be a lot of sims around you, so if you're not very confident, it might be quite a daunting experience. So yes, Sam has a negative memory of that, and Ty also got a positive memory of it. Before we take a look at the other memories though, I also want to mention another mod, which is an edit of a mod. So some of you might have heard of the multiple key dorm rooms by Boiling Oil, but Gummy has just released an add-on for it that makes it work on diagonal doors as well. So now even though he's got a diagonal door, he can go and give a key to Sam. And now they both have keys, so now that means they can both go inside even though the room is locked. Whereas if you just use the original Boiling Oil mod, it would only work for doors on a flat wall like this, so that just fixes it for diagonal walls as well. Ty's off to class, and that is good, so we'll be taking a look at more memories later. Let's see what other memories we can find. I'm going to have Jared go streaking. Oh, he's just standing in his room. Maybe I should have... well, he got a memory of it anyway. He just stood in his room naked. I should have probably directed him to a more big space first. But he got a positive memory of deciding to streak. That memory is always positive, I guess, because they're only ever directed to streak, so it wouldn't really be bad, I guess. I don't know. I think it would be cool if also that was negative if they were shy, but oh well. It could still be, kind of like pushing things out of the comfort zone would still be a positive memory, so understandable. I've now used the unlock career rewards cheat to grab two facial modifiers, plastic surgery machine. So let's do that. Both of these guys. Oh. Right. So he's got a positive memory of having plastic surgery. However, oh my, ma'am, oh my, oh my god, okay. Where is Sam's failed? So now she's got a negative memory of having plastic surgery. Wow. I've never really used those before. I didn't really realise how shocking the results were. Oh my god. It looks like she's got that teeth clipping through the chin book, which there is a mod for. When I make these videos, I basically just put in the mods we're looking at, apart from a couple of graphical UI things and other mods really directly related to it. But anyway, yeah, his surgery was a success, so he's happy about it, but what a disaster for Sam. Ty has gone to his first class, and now he also has a memory for going to the first lecture, which is so nice. It is a very significant experience. That very first lecture is very scary, but it's exciting at the same time. So that's a nice little memory to have. Again, always positive. I'm not going to go through every single new memory here, so let's just grab the mod description. So as I was saying in the last video about the sim drops out memory fix, which changes the sim dropped out memory to be what the sims family get, they otherwise wouldn't have got a memory of it, and stop the sims themselves getting that third person memory of it. But because there wasn't a first person memory, there is now in this pack. So there we go. That's perfect hand in hand for that mod. So this is the mod we were waiting for after that fix mod, but Nopke has just delivered so much more. So yeah, we now have a dropped out memory. We've seen these ones. There's also a positive memory for joining a secret society as well. So what a lovely realistic set of memories which get applied automatically, which I love. Like we looked at the memory bonanza last time, of course sometimes it makes sense that certain memories would be for really specific storytelling purposes and you'd apply them manually with a mod object like that, but generally I much prefer it when memories just get automatically added and my sims tell their own story and I don't have to do anything. So I absolutely love this wonderful pack of mods we've got here. While I'm sure many of you, like me, aren't that keen on The Sims 4, for those of you who are interested, I just had to give an honourable mention to The Sims 4 mod that came out this month, which replaces The Sims 4 UI with one inspired by The Sims 2, and I think it looks amazing. Call me contrary, because even though I use the clean UI for The Sims 2 that makes it white like it is in The Sims 4, I would definitely use this mod for The Sims 4 because I think it gives it some much needed personality. So check that out if you are interested. It's available on Vixated's Patreon for free. Speaking of The Sims 4, did you know that you can get the packs and other games for that matter for much cheaper from a safe and reliable source from CD Keys? And if you use my affiliate link, I'll get a small cut with no extra cost to you. Find the link in the description. If you're looking for a more active way to support me, I do have my own Patreon, so consider becoming a member to support my channel and be able to see sneak peeks of what I'm working on, as well as being able to get early access to the future mods I make and even be able to request mod tuning and new mods. And that is all of the mods I found this month. Let me know if I've missed any, and also please let me know which ones you like the look of and you'll be adding to your game. This video actually turned out a bit longer than I was expecting it to be because I did really make that effort to show all the mods in game this time. Next month is my birthday month, so we'll see what treats the Sims 2 community bring next month. Let me know what you've thought of this monthly format. I'll have to see whether I do the next one at the end of May or whether I decide to roll May and June into one and then continue on from Q3 and continue doing it in the quarterly format. Not decided yet, so let me know. And remember that you can find all of the links to the mods shown today in the link on my website, along with the written description of each, so you can use that as reference and come back to at any time. And on my website, you'll also be able to find the mods I've made and other resources. But that's all for now, guys. Join my Discord to stay in touch, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.